What's going on, everyone? Juice Bags here, and welcome back to Tower Defense Tuesday. The Steam Nextfest is in full swing, and there's just tons of really good demos out there to play this week. This one is Mob Factory, so anyone can jump in and play this demo for free. It's pretty bare bones at the moment. It is an entry-level demo, but it is one of the most unique combinations of like factory and automation building and tower defense that I have seen so far. So although it's very, very bare bones at the moment, the game is just crazy, crazy addicting. So you pop on in, you got your first map here. We've got our item that we need to protect. We've got a worm spawner where mobs are going to be coming. You see here a tutorial, place crossbows to stop the worms. Now, if we look through what we've got to begin, we've got 3 crossbows, we've got 40 conveyor belts, we've got 2 assemblers, and we've got 30 walls. So let's go ahead and start building this one out. So we know the enemies are going to be coming from this wormhole or worm spawner and go into our castle there. So let's go ahead and protect these. To get things started in the very first wave here, we will just go with what the tutorials got here, but we will build that out. Now, once the waves do not increase in difficulty, they stay the same. So once you get a wave down, you know that that area is cleared. So down the road, we'll be able to add more worm spawners to increase our product generation, but we don't have to completely overkill one little island once we get to a point where the enemies are dying. So let's go ahead and get it started here, and we will just let it fly. You see, we got, 10 seconds till these baddies are coming. Now, we do have all these walls. I want to use these walls to make sure I am getting some good pathing and automation down. So let's just go ahead and wall it to, say, right there. Now, you see we've got some items dropping. Those are clubs. Now, this is where all your resource comes from. All of your resources will come from the enemies themselves. In this case, we're getting clubs here. So what can we do with clubs? Well, right at the top here, we could throw down a factory, and then we could choose what to make. Now, we want to make some coins here. These are the bare bones bronze coins, and if we look down in the bottom right, these are going to take 6 clubs to make 1 coin. So for now, we can just let the stuff kind of dump. We do want to build up other resources, but we're going to start with just getting some coins going here for now and kind of decide what we want to do. Now, the reason I used all these walls here, first off, walls are super, super cheap. But additionally, this gives me an opportunity to path the enemies a little bit further. So let's go down to, say, like right there. Now we've got this crossbow that's not really doing a whole lot. However, we could add it in. Looks like we're going to lose a baddie right here. We can add it in like right at the bottom here, and then that's going to give us a longer path. Now, of course, we could have took this wall all the way down. In fact, we might as well, right? Let's just go ahead and do that. Let's bring this wall down a little bit further, and we'll create the maximum amount of path we can for that crossbow. So this is pretty much going to guarantee that these enemies are dying. Now let's put another crossbow right up top here just for the double whammy. And this area is going to be fully automated. It's actually overkilled a bit. There's just no chance any of these worms are going to make it past. Now, you see we're producing our gold coins now. So now we have to make some decisions on what we want to do. See, the tutorial's telling us to buy an island next. So if we bought an island and we take a look around what's available, that one's going to cost 1 copper coin. This one's going to cost 1 copper coin as well. However, before I buy that next island, I want to kind of get myself set up a little bit better with just some of the base resources that are here. So obviously, if we buy another island, we're going to have another setup. So we need to do a little crafting. Let's go ahead and craft, some crossbows? Those require 10. We've got 35. We can craft 3 crossbows here. And you see our crafting queue down below. This is going to add those crossbows into our inventory. And what next? Well, we could use some more walls. We still got 11 clubs left. The walls only take one of them. So let's just go ahead and queue up a whole bunch of those walls to craft. So now we're looking pretty darn good. We've got some backup crossbows ready to go. We've got some walls. One thing we haven't done is done anything with any sort of conveyors or other types of production. Now, let's say, for example, are we ready to start using some conveyor belts? Well, you see here we've got a resource that is dead or just sitting on the path that's not being used. So let's go ahead and use a conveyor belt. We can push that up and get it into our factory here. We can do the same thing over here to get all of these conveyors in. And we can even take it one step further and go directly in like that. So now anything that drops on these two tiles, now you see stuff dropping up top is still going to get the whammy there. So we're going to want to get, well, we'll get that dialed in once we get a little bit more power here. But I feel like we're in pretty good shape to go ahead and start up our next area. We don't need any more coin at the moment. So we could switch this to creating something else. Why don't we just have it make some walls? And our walls will be automated for a bit. And those will pump out really, really quick. So we'll just make some walls. And in fact, we can get an area here for our walls to dump out. That way it's all in one nice little stack there that we can snag later on. I feel like this one needs a belt going down there, just in case anything dies at that point. In fact, we can do the same thing right there. So now we got some walls dumping out. Let's go ahead and start up or buy our next island and see what we can work on next. So do we want this one? Do we want the one down below? Let's actually take this one down below here. And now we take a look at this one. We've got an island connected. We're going to be getting another spawn. This one is a spider spawner. And we picked up 2 additional defenses. And now, you see, we have another, like a saw blade type thing to use, which is incredibly cool, by the way. So let's go ahead and take a look at this path. So here we've got 4 of our crossbows. We can go with one there. We can go, say, one there. And then, what, we've only got one of these. Is that how we want to do it? I'm not certain that's how we want to do it. I think we want to work on our pathing a little. So let's actually get rid of that. Let's put our little area damage right here. And then, of course, to maximize this, we're going to want to path the enemies around it. So to path the enemies around it, of course, we're going to have to remove or put a wall in here. If you don't put a wall in here, the enemies will repath and just take an alternate route. And then we're going to want to put a wall in here. Now, this is going to leave us in pretty good shape here, I think. We can throw another crossbow down at the very bottom. I think we're going to have to get rid of that one so the pathing's clean. And, oh, look up top here. We've got another little issue. So there we go. Now, it does show you the mob path, so it makes it pretty easy to get your mazing down. Let's go ahead and get this one started and see if this is enough to kill this area. Let's go ahead and do this as well, just to be safe. So now we got our little spin blade here. We got 3 crossbows in. What enemies are we going to get here? Now we've got some spiders, of course, as that was the spider spawner. And you see our next resource is now dropping. The next resource being these swords here. So we're collecting these up. If we look at our crafting table, it's going to take 12 of these swords to give us 1 little area damage. But then we also have this Cyclops now, a fast, short-range weapon. That gives us something else. And then if we continue to look, we've got splitters, we've got sorters, we've got another worm spawner. So what we can do is focus on getting this area dialed in. I think we're probably good on walls for the moment. Let's let a few more make. If we get this area dialed in, we're going to be able to place another spawner down here. And I think, to be honest, we want to move this factory. I don't think that factory is in the greatest spot. I think we could put it down here. You know what? I've got a thought here. Wait till these enemies are dead. Let's get rid of that factory, and let's throw... Oh, we don't have one of those yet. Let me put that... Let me block that path back off here. So we're going to need to get a few more of these swords before we can make... Oh, and we've got a ton laying here. Before we can make another... Or before we can expand out on this area. So let's see here. We'll wait till this pack is dead. We in good shape. And then let's get our spinny boy crafted. I did it again. It's crafting pretty quick. Oh yeah, and now we got some area damage going there. So now we can remove these conveyors, and we can think about our factory in another way. And I think maybe popping it right down here is going to be the way. In fact, we could even add in 2, couldn't we? Let's see, do we want another one? Yeah, let's get 2 in right there. And then now, of course, we can just conveyor belt everything all the way around. It looks like this is the earliest point where anything is dying. So we can bring our resources all the way down and around to these conveyors right here. And now these are pumping out conveyor belts. Do we need conveyor belts? No, let's switch one over to coin. What do we want to put the other one on? Let's leave that one on factories. Let's get a few more of our assemblers made here. That way we'll have them sitting and ready to go. Those, of course, are 6 of the clubs. Now we're getting to a point where we could use a little bit more production on this line. Meanwhile, over here, everything is just getting, just laying on the ground here. Now, with the swords, what is the main thing we would want to produce? Well, of course, we could expand out again. And look, we see we got that one as 1 copper coin. This one is 1 silver and 30 copper, and it's going to have some other sort of event on that tile. That is our only 2 options right now. So we see we're going to want to start making silver coins in addition to these copper coins. So what do silver coins take? Well, let's look at a factory. Let's snag what we've got down here. We've got a factory right there. Let's see. So if we had a silver coin factory here, what would it need to make the silver coins? Oh, if we look, it needs 10 of these swords, but then it needs 2 of the copper coins. So we're going to want to take a look at expanding that out. Now let's get a couple more of these guys crafted, and we will jack up our production over here a little bit before we get to expanding. Now, we are going to want to do something with these. We actually got the conveyors. Let's just put these all in one nice little stack here. That way we've got them here and ready to go. And then they can just start storing up in there as well. Now, we see we're getting pushed here a little bit. We might want to add a little bit more kill in on this lane. Let's see. Let's wait till this wave is dead. I think one... Yeah, it's a little bit close here. So let's just go ahead and get rid of that. Let's throw another spinny boy in right here, and hopefully that takes care of it. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like that clears it out. Now remember, like I mentioned, once you get the lane killed, unless you add to it, it's going to always hold. So it's a set amount of spiders that's coming out every wave. We've got to kill on them now, so they are always going to hold. Now over here, we're collecting up the coin. We're up to 6 of the copper coins now. We've got a few more factories that are stacking up as well. I think, in fact, we got 3 factories now. Let's switch this over to, we'll have that one be walls for the moment. And then now what do we want to do here? Well, we can add to this. If we see we now have a craftable worm spawner. It takes 20 of the swords, so we are going to have to gather up a few of those swords. Let's let them stack here for a moment and not go into that. But we're going to be able to add another worm spawner over here that is going to combine with this lane and give us even more mob kills. Now, before we do that, do we want to get a little bit more kill in here? I feel like we probably do. So let's go with another spinny boy there. We've got our 2 harpoons pewing it up. In fact, do we want to get one more? I think one more will be way overkill, but we will have to see here. Let's do it. Let's go one more in here as well. Now that's going to be just a ton of kill here, and we should have no issue. So we're going to want enemies now, or more enemies over here, as everything's just getting annihilated. So with that in mind, we need 20 of the swords. How are we holding up on swords here? They're starting to stack. We need 5 more of them. There's a couple. There's a couple. We need one more wave there to get enough swords. We're doing great on walls now. In fact, I think we can change this production over. Let's have it make some conveyors, because I think we're going to be burning through conveyors here pretty quickly. And now we're in good shape there. Let's make another worm spawner. And when we place a worm spawner down, we're going to see it's creating another path. So we want this worm spawner to combine with the other. And we can just do that by slapping a wall in right there. That will get them over, make them all combine into one lane. But now we've got twice as many enemies. We need to make sure the lane is still holding. And it appears it is. It's a little bit sketch, but not too terrible. Now we're really producing over here. Now, of course, we can jack this completely full. We could put like another worm spawner here with a wall ahead of it. And that's going to give us even more worms. I feel like we would really need to add on to our build before we could do that. However, I feel pretty good about the automation going on right here. Now, so what did we want to do? Well, we need to bring coins down to this, because this one is going to need the swords and it's going to need some coins. So what are we going to do there? We've got, let's make an out. Let's go, actually, let's do it like this. Make sure we're not going to pick up any. Actually, we got 2 gold coin piles coming down there now. Oh no, I didn't realize. Or no, that's just where they loop back around, so we're good there. Okay, the gold coins are dumping out here. They're not wanting to go where I'm telling them to, so let's just, let's go like this. Okay, so now we've got 1 gold coin for ourselves. We got another gold coin going down here that we can use to craft these guys. So let's go ahead and we'll bring those down. And now we are automated with producing silver coins. So now that the silver coins are going in, let's see. We got 2, yeah, it's 2 copper and 10 of the swords. So it's still all about the swords. Now we're going to have to unlock the next difficulty before we can get another spawner type. You see, spider spawners are going to take a different resource that we don't quite yet have. However, we do have enough coin where we can start producing something else. So if we buy another island here, let's buy this one for 1 copper. It's going to give us a couple of freebies here. We got a path going over. And what do we want to do here? Now, this one is a spider spawner as well. So it's going to be producing swords just like down here. So I could use this as another silver coin factory to pump enemies, or to pump these gold coin or copper coins over, and then create more silver coins. But we do know that we're going to have a spider spawner right here. Let's see. Is it going to be the same difficulty? I'm not really sure. Let's just do this for right now and see if it holds. I'm not certain if this is going to be a good idea, but we will find out here in 12 seconds and see if this is going to hold up. See, we don't have anything else crafted. I feel like we need to make some more things. We can make a few more of our crossbows here. All right, it looks like these guys are pushing through, so we're going to need a little bit more. So let's go ahead and pause it here. And we're going to need to do something else. Now, we've got a ton of walls here, so we're in great shape there. We could do the same thing that we've been doing in other areas, and that is force kind of a double dip on the walls. So let's go something like that to block the path. We'll come over here and go something like that to extend the path. Let's actually extend it to there. Then we can, we can double dip on the crossbows. We're double dipping on our spinny boy here now. And we can throw in another one, say right there. Let's get that wall back. And now I think we should be in pretty good shape. Let's check it out here with this next wave. This one is not really doing much anymore. Actually, let's put it right there like that. And now it looks like we're killing over here. So now we're going to get a stockpile of the swords over here, which is the next resource down. And we can decide what we want to do in these areas. Obviously, I can jack this area up, throw down another spider spawner. Same thing over here. I could, keep the worm spawners flowing and get this area jacked up. And this is where you would start making some of those design decisions to path it out, automate your factories, and get things going. I got to tell you, I jumped into this game. When I first looked at it, I thought, oh, I'm not sure. It's super, super early. And then after playing it for a moment, the game is just crazy, crazy addicting and very difficult to put down once you get going. So links to this one will be down in the description below. Tower defense plus factory automation. It's a really good combo. It feels like it's done well here. Instead of mining our resources, though, we are going to be grinding up our resources in the form of drops from enemies. So head on over and check this one out. It is part of the Steam Nextfest, so this demo is available for free. And all I can really say is the game, although it looks very, very basic, it has got a secret sauce going that is super, super fun to play. So definitely one worth checking out. But that will do it for today. Thanks an absolute ton, and I will see you next time around. Take it easy.